Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Dallas, Texas. And it's 7 p.m. in New York City. Hello, everybody. I'm Mad Dog DeCipio, and this is America's Best Podcast. What's the buzz? I'm joined, God help me another night, I'm joined by Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman. How are you, Amelia?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm still recovering from our show from last night. Oh, if you guys missed our show last night, fear not. You can go back to our on demand and listen to it anytime, and go onto our YouTube channel, of course, and watch it. We had we did a couple we did a serious show last night for the most part. Talking about, of course, we talked about the eclipse, the solar eclipse. But we talked about the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore. And I had Master Fon with us, Tom Master Fon, who is, we call him Captain Conspiracy.
Right.
The conspiracy theorist at large. And he just had a ball last night with all kinds of conspiracy theories. And it was Amelia and I think collectively we may have downed about 3 bottles of Tylenol between the two of us.
And lots of coffee.
I like Tom. I go to church with him. My wife can't stand him. Anita hates him.
It's okay. I did it for the team. I put up with him for a little bit.
Well, you know the thing about Tom. God bless him, but Tom he's kind of an acquired taste.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But he did have some good points, though. I mean,
he made some good. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
But he lets his, how shall we say, he lets his imagination go really crazy on him sometimes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I said to him last night, "Did you take your meds?" So maybe he skipped a dose or something. But then I realized before we went on the air, he smoked a big fat pipe of pot last night.
Yeah.
And then I smelled it from here. In my studio, my basement studio here. I smelled this, and it's not for nothing, but my daughter smokes too, but it's legal. It's where I live. It's legal. But still smells, though.
Oh, yeah. My son has a license, so yes, I know the smell.
Yeah, you smoke that shit. I mean, I have a few times, too, but it clings to your clothes, and you smell like a pot factory.
Yeah.
And Tom smelled like a pot factory last night.
And I tried to keep my dogs as quiet as I could yesterday. That's what's going on with me yesterday. It's like they were like, rah, 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 rah.
We have a special guest tonight. If she shows up, Rita Gigante. She's the daughter of Vincent Vinny the Chin Gigante, reputed Genovese family crime boss. Or I should say reputed Genovese crime family boss. Rita is also very interesting. She's a psychic and medium as well. How's that for crazy, right?
Wow.
Her father's a mob boss and she's a psychic. I feel like saying to her, didn't you have a clue what your father did for a living? I might just ask her that too when she gets
Mhm.
if and when she gets here.
Yep.
She's well, she's not here yet. Well, let me introduce myself once again. I am Angelo, the Mad Dog DeCipio. This is my faithful co-host, the anchor of the show. God help me, Amelia the Pitbull Chapman. Shut up. We haven't talked in a while. You haven't been here in a little bit. First of
Yes.
all, you were sick for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was
And then when
horrible.
you did come back, you had like no voice. I said,
No.
Nelia, go home.
Yeah.
Um, well, so you sound like you got your voice back, which is good. This is all good. So, what have you been up to? Okay, let's talk a little bit while we're waiting for Rita to get here.
Just basically finally returning back to work, able to be around patients and just
Right?
helping out, getting everything back to normal and basically getting the house back to normal. And unfortunately, we lost another patient that really, really meant a lot to our home.
Oh man, I hate that.
Was real young, but we wish her the best. And she donated, the little hats that they wear for camp.
Yeah.
She donated a lot, every one of them actually. Her husband and her, that was her wish to donate them back to us, and so a lot of patients will be blessed. And she had some wigs that she wore that she's going to donate to us as well
Yeah.
to bless some more patients.
I'm just texting our guest Rita and let her know that we're waiting on her for a few more minutes. We're going to give Rita till about 7:15, and after that we're just going to you and I'll just because look, you and I could do a show standing on our
Oh,
head.
of course, absolutely. Yeah, and so we just, started talking about that. She was really young, and they had a celebration of life on Saturday, and pretty much she loved wine when she could drink it, of course. And so her husband decided to buy her this beautiful silver urn, and anybody that wanted to could go and just drank till the wine ran out. So I
Right?
thought, well, I didn't want to be around a lot of people because I just got better, and I thought I don't want
Yeah,
to get sick
sure.
again. So and I thought,
Oh, I
well,
don't blame you.
and
I don't blame you a bit.
And from what I thought I had might have gotten COVID, but it came back negative. But the symptoms I was having and it all matched up to COVID, and it came back negative. But as you know, sometimes you can get a negative.
You get a
po-
false
Yeah,
positive. Yep, sure do.
it's so. And I thought maybe that's what I ended up having, but and I thought, well, I tested again, and it was negative again. But as you know, tests can be wrong, and I thought, well, I'm just gonna stay in bed, recuperate, and it did take a long, long time to get better. So I don't know what this going
Yeah.
around. And
Well, and you know what? That's a problem with some of these tests.
Mhm.
You get false results. You get
Yes.
false. They call them false positives.
Mhm.
Um, and sometimes you worry for nothing, and sometimes you
Mhm.
don't worry enough,
Right,
as
and
the case may be.
it's all this phlegm too that I had built up,
Yeah,
and it took forever. And as you know, I lost my voice. I couldn't talk. I looked
yeah.
so
Well,
bad.
you got your voice back because you ain't shut up last night.
I had to kinda keep him to not touch anything on the computer because, as you know, he kept
I wanted to reach through the computer and put tape on your mouth.
no, he
I
kept
felt like saying, Amelia, shut up. Shut
well, I had a lot
Anyway,
of catching up to do.
but so let me ask you a question. We were
Mhm.
doing you and I were talking before about Vincent the Chin Gigante and
Yeah.
Rita, his daughter. Um what do you know about this guy, Vinny the
Well,
Chin?
I, did some research, and I found out he was an excellent boxer.
He was a hell of a boxer.
Yes.
Yeah, he could have been like a champion.
Yeah, I just don't understand why he decided to go crime.
The
it's a
answer
life
is
of
very
crime.
simple.
Money, yeah.
Fast money.
Mhm,
Fast money. And you don't have to get beat up for it.
yeah. But he was the one doing the beating up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I guess he liked it too much, and he thought, "I can make more money
Yeah.
beating people up."
Well, you know what the problem was with guys back at that? We're talking about like the 50s, the 1950s, when people were starting to make a little bit more money, right?
Mhm.
And people and guys that were not making a lot of money, they wanted to figure out a way to get their hands on some of it.
Yeah.
especially guys that had no skill and no talent.
Yeah.
Which had always eluded me, like why Vinny the Chin ever went into crime, because he was a smart guy.
Yeah.
He was a brilliant fighter. He
Yes.
knew how to fight
Oh yeah.
without getting himself hurt.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he had a great sense of business.
Yes.
So, but why take all of that great skill and risk going to jail every day of your life? Why? I don't get that.
Yeah, like you said, it was money, and I think the silk suits and, probably all
That's
the
it, you know, it's
women.
you know, you said a magic word there.
Mhm.
The silk suits.
Yeah.
That meant prestige.
Yeah.
Hey, silk suits were not cheap. They're still not
No.
cheap.
No, they're not.
Go buy a silk suit. It costs you $2,500, $3,000 to have one made.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
in every color that they can make them in,
In
basically.
every color under the sun.
And they're gonna say, "Okay, somebody's gonna be looking at me with these silk suits. I'm gonna have respect, and I'm gonna get
Yeah,
in first, and I'm gonna no matter how many people have to wait 25 minutes to get into a restaurant, I'm gonna go in first, no matter
yeah.
what."
Well, I sent Rita a text, and I'm waiting for some kind of response here. I've not gotten one yet, so, but we're gonna wait.
Mhm.
Rita, if you're out there listening, or somebody that knows Rita is listening, let her know we're on the air waiting for her ass to get. But yeah, look, here's the thing. Yeah, we've had guests who, and she's a busy person. I get it. And she may have forgotten. And I'll look the first time. Well, Amelia and I will always give you a pass the first time. But when you do it more than 2 or 3 times, then you're done.
Well, let's see. She's a psychic, so she should have known.
She's already got her link. Yeah, she's got everything she needs. So I don't know
Yeah.
what else. Yeah, Rita's allegedly a psychic.
Mhm.
So and she wrote a book. Let me pull this up here. She, of course, she's the daughter of Vincent the Chin Gigante. We've been talking about that. He's, reputed Genovese family crime boss, and Rita is a psychic and medium, and she's the author of a book called Spirit Crew. I want to find out where she got that name from. What does that mean? And where is who or what is the Spirit Crew? You know?
Yeah, because from what I hear, I don't want to give a lot of information, but I know that he had like quite a few kids. I want to find out, what she knew from his other family too, because I know that he had another family as well. So I want to find out about that too.
He did indeed.
Hmm.
He did indeed. Something a lot of people don't know. Vinny the Chin had a couple of families. He was, and that was another thing back in the day with gangsters. They used to have their family,
Yes,
and they had a girlfriend.
exactly.
And then when the girlfriend got pregnant,
Hmm.
they took care of her. They set her up in an apartment or a home somewhere.
Yes.
And then now they had 2 families,
Yes, I had to
and they would,
go back and forth.
copulate with the. See, you like that fancy word I used, copulate, and then use the F bomb, right?
Right.
They would copulate with their girlfriend again and pop out another kid.
Right.
Before you knew it, they had to keep robbing banks to pay for all of these kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's yeah, we're waiting for Rita to get here, and so far nothing. So it looks like Amelia is just gonna be you and me tonight, kid.
Yeah. Sounds good. We could do another bitch
Yeah,
session.
give us a chance to talk a little bit and see what the
Yeah.
frig have been up to.
Yeah.
You know what? It'll give us a chance to go over our shows.
Yeah.
Tell
So
everybody what we got coming up.
well,
Because I might change my mind about halfway through the show and put another show on.
put another show together and say, well, look at what we're gonna do, right?
Amelia has invested in a lot of money in erasable pens, folks. Because apparently she can't keep up with the old Mad Dogs. Changing apparently she says I changed my mind a lot. So it's not that I changed my mind. Look, I get brainstorms sometimes. You know, I have such an active mind it doesn't stop. You know,
Well,
and I have to I gotta keep. And sometimes I forget to tell you once in a while.
also, guess what? We can't help what goes on in the world, and we have to talk about it.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing. Like we had shows planned on one subject, and lo and behold, something else comes up, and you know what? We
The
got to jump
Baltimore
on it.
Bridge.
Yeah, we got to jump on it. So Amelia and I get on it, and because we're
Mhm.
better than Dan Rather and Walter Cronkite, boy, I'll tell
Oh,
you
of
what.
course. Because you know why? You do a lot of research and you tell the people the truth, especially what it needs to be heard. You don't tell them lies. You don't bullshit.
You don't have time for that shit.
No, you don't.
You don't. No.
Mm-mm.
Look, and I'm not perfect. I'm not. I'm not perfect. I don't always get it right, but I get it right about 99.9% of the time. We give people the most accurate, up to date, fresh information as we get it from our sources.
Yes.
Now, does that always mean that we get it right? No. Sometimes our sources can be wrong. It's rare. It's rare because I use, sources that are pretty steadfast or
Yes.
pretty accurate. Some are on the internet, but most of them are the people that I call
Yes.
and say, what can you tell me about, I deal with news agencies,
Absolutely.
and I call them. I say, I want to talk to a person, you know, I don't want to look at a screen. I want tell me. I want to hear your voice in my ears say such and such, rob that bank
Right.
or such and such, cheated on this person or beat that person up or whatever the case may be. I want to hear it.
However, you want to make sure you have the proof to back it up, what you've been
Oh, we
told.
always have that's why, hello.
Mhm. Yes.
This is, see this, folks, this is what we do. Amelia, and I want to kill her for this, but because of Amelia, I spend untold thousands of dollars on paper
So I got
and
it here.
ink. I'm going to send Amelia a bill for the ink that I just bought. Because you owe me about $75 for ink. Anyway, no.
I'll save you some paper too.
Yeah, well, that's like another $30 for paper.
Yeah, it's on its way.
Jeez.
You want some coffee too?
Send me a box of coffee. I'm good. Absolutely.
Okay.
This is good, by the way. This is called chocolate cream mocha.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Yeah. It's called skinny syrup.
Mm.
You put like 2 squirts in your cup. You can't overdo it because it's like it'll get sweet real fast.
Mm-hmm.
But this is good. It's good stuff.
No, I'm talking
My
about
favorite though, and I can't find it. In fact, Anita and I went out the other day, and I was looking for. It's called s'mores.
Mm-hmm.
It's like chocolate marshmallow, and man, is it good!
The coffee or the syrup?
No, the syrup. Yeah, it's called s'mores. You know what a s'mores is?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well they make a flavored like a syrup that's like
Yes.
it tastes like chocolate and marshmallows. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing how they get that taste, but it's really good.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
yeah,
I
because I have.
can't find it. I
Huh.
found it one time at a place called Marshall's.
Oh yes, I know the place.
You know Marshall's? Okay.
Yes.
Well, we got a couple of them around here, and it's a big store, and they got a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I love is to going into the area where they have like their coffee flavors and
Yes.
stuff like that. I found me a big bottle of it,
Mm.
but I can't find it again.
Hmm.
They got all the hazelnut you want. They got all the vanilla, French vanilla, caramel vanilla,
Mm.
caramel chocolate, all this other stuff. It's not the same. I want this s'mores because it tastes like chocolate and marshmallow, and I love
Mhm.
chocolate and marshmallow. So
Oh
good.
yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, I'm getting myself all worked up over here. Gee. What else is going on, kid?
That it's just like, when I was telling you before, it's at work, we finally got everything smoothed up and we finally starting to get help. The only thing is that thank goodness I don't have to work overtime anymore. That's the best thing because I started working overtime. You get tired after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And also, sadly, we had to put Jeff back in the hospital again today. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Hate to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
This poor guy, I'll tell you what. He can't catch a break. He
Mm-mm.
just cannot. What happened this time?
A lot of
Another
bowel
infection?
yeah, pretty much.
Infection?
Yeah. So it's
This poor
he's
it's just
healing
saying
at
this.
the same time, but it's getting
Yeah.
infected at the same time. But
Yeah. He just he can't catch a break, this poor guy. He just really just can't catch a break.
it'll be a year that he's been in the hospital bed in June.
I
So
know. It's
mm,
crazy.
yeah.
He's been in the hospital more than he's been out.
Yeah.
Not It's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what we're doing. I have a show scheduled for Thursday.
Yes.
I think I'm going to cancel out the show for tomorrow night with Gene
They
DiPiero
uh-huh.
because, quite frankly, I'm not getting any positive feedback on this guy. Like
You have
nobody knows who he is,
and you have that instinct too, don't you?
and I have that instinct. Yeah, like because
Mm-hmm.
you know how my mind works. All right,
Yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
I think tomorrow I may do the wrestling show that I had scheduled for Thursday. If that's the case, then I'll be joined with you and Mr. Murphy, Armageddon, to talk about the WrestleMania results.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been a very, very big week in Philadelphia.
Wow.
5 days. WWE was in Philadelphia for 5 days.
Wow.
And guess what? They're there tonight too.
Wow, it's kind
For
of big there.
NXT.
Wow.
NXT is in Philly tonight. But so you may as well say they've been there for 6 days.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we were supposed to have Rita Gigante here. Rita is not here. So Rita Gigante is a no-show. Okay, so Rita, and I'm surprised because Rita was recommended by Louis Ferranti,
Mm-hmm.
who Lou was here 3 times, a great guest. And Lou recommended her. And I'm just really disappointed. I'm honest, I really am. I'm very disappointed. I'm looking to see if my text messages are getting. I'm not getting nothing in my text. So we're gonna scratch off Rita Gigante. Yeah, can't help you, kid.
Yeah.
Well, I would have loved to talk to her about being a psychic and talk to her about her father. I would have loved to have had that conversation, but she's not here, so I don't know
Yeah.
what to do. But we can do is talk about some shows we got coming up. We got a
Oh
couple
yes.
good ones.
Oh yes.
You got the schedule in front of you?
I do actually. This
Imagine that. She's got the schedule in front of her. Holy shit.
I come prepared, and I also have my pen.
I come prepared too. I just hope that you always have the schedule because I never do. I never do. I always have my script for the show,
Mm-hmm.
but I never have my schedule in front of me. I always got to pull it up later, right?
Right.
Anyway, so what we got coming up?
Well, I know you're going to be doing the show about Billy Jack Haynes on Monday, the 15th.
Yeah, Billy Jack Haynes. Now it's going to be an interesting show because we wanted to wait a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to do it while it was fresh, and I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah.
Because other details about the shooting have surfaced, have come to light. Apparently, Billy Jack and his wife, and she, by the way, was like 15 years older
Yeah.
And he's 65. He's my age, but his wife was like something like 82 or 83, like, 15 to 17 years older than him. And so the first question I had was, why the hell did he marry somebody so much older? And then the answer was very simple, because she's got a ton of money. That's
Yeah.
why. He married her because she was a widow with a ton of money. Her husband died and left her all this money. Well, yeah, sure. So, of course he was going to put up with it for the money's sake,
Oh, absolutely.
He
He
was
was.
living in the lap of luxury there for a
Mhm.
bit. And you should see the neighborhood. It's a nice neighborhood in a big cul-de-sac. You're
Yeah.
looking at it looked like Knott's Landing,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Knott's Landing kinda area.
Yeah, that's the kind of
Mhm.
house it looked like. This is a big
Mhm.
house. But I thought to myself, let me hold on here and see where the story goes. And I'm glad we did, because it's going to be an interesting story. We got Cue Ball Carmichael, who will be making his first appearance with me on that show, as well as a returning guest. Lou Marconi will be joining us. That's Amelia's boy toy. Um,
He
she
told me he
likes
was gonna
wrestlers, folks. She likes
he
wrestlers.
told me he told me
She
he was
likes
gonna
to
be on
see
the
half naked men running around. Anyway, so yeah, it's going to be an interesting show. I'm going to see where that conversation goes. I might have you on that show, Mill.
He
I
told me
think
he
I'm.
was gonna be on the show. He told me, messaged me right away. He said, "Guess what? I'm gonna be on the show."
Who's that?
Lou told me, he said, "I'm gonna be on the show with Angelo again."
Yeah. Well, I'll
Yep.
bring you back on too. Um, let's see. Oh, we have that one. We got the Billy Jack. We also have interesting. We're going to have one of our open panel discussions with another podcast is going to be joining us. It's going to be interesting for us because we've never done this before. We're going to do a simulcast. We're going to air their podcast. They're going to air our podcast at the same time.
The same time, right?
Yeah. So it's going to be, we've never done this before.
Mm-mm.
I'm really curious to see how this is going to work out, because we don't know these guys and they don't know us,
Mhm.
but that's cool. We're both on StreamYard, and that's how we hooked up on StreamYard, because they got this new thing here called Collab.
Mhm.
So, and it's really interesting. It's all these people on StreamYard that do podcasts, and they have this, AI that, kind of matches you up with people in your genre. The problem with our show is we don't have a genre because we do everything.
Right.
Now, some people just do conspiracy or sports or music or talk. We
Right.
do it all. We have everybody. We've had actors, singers, dancers, musicians,
Directors.
comedians, writers.
Mhm.
Oh God, sports people. I mean, we've had all kinds of people on
Oh,
the
yeah.
show. So there's no, like, we don't have, like, we're not one like set
Right.
fingerprint as to what we do,
Mhm.
which I think is great,
Yeah.
because it leaves us open to do whatever we feel like.
Right.
And that was the whole purpose of the show,
Right.
is to do everything.
Right.
Give people, because it's a variety show. That's what we do. This is like an old somebody asked me the other day. It might have been on the show. Someone asked me about what we do, and I said, what we do is old-fashioned radio. That's what we do.
Right.
I do an old-fashioned radio talk show on the internet and on the radio and on YouTube. But we do it the way it used to be done back in the day. Like, the people that I admired were Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas, Dinah Shore, Johnny Carson. people like that. Jack Parr, whose name you don't even know because you were just,
Lucille Ball.
huh?
Lucille Ball is one of my favorites.
Yeah, but she's not a talk person.
No.
You know, I'm talking about people that inspired me to do a talk show.
Mhm.
People like Jack Parr, Johnny Carson, Mike Douglas, Merv Griffin. Oh my God, who else was there? Were so many people.
I know another one that was your favorite, Wolfman Jack.
Wolfman Jack never did a talk show.
No, but he was a radio personality.
Yeah, but Wolfman was one of my heroes.
Yes. Hmm.
You know, like he was my radio hero.
Right, your
But
radio hero.
Wolfman only did music.
Hmm.
Of course, he was a disc jockey and was famous for that.
Mhm.
But he was also a music producer,
Mhm.
and he was involved in the music business, and he was,
Right.
Wolfman. If when it came to music, Wolfman was all over it.
Right.
He was all over the music business. But the one thing he never did was talk. See, I'm speaking now specifically only about talk
Mhm.
because that's what we do. But that's not all that we do.
No.
You know, I can do what Wolfman did. You know, I can do what Johnny Carson did. I can do what Merv Griffin did. You know, I can do what Cousin Brucey did. You don't even know who Cousin Brucey is.
Mm-mm.
You know, he was a legend. But before Wolfman Jack.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going back that far.
Who was your favorite that's told yourself, I'm going to do this one day and get into this?
Wow. The very first time I knew
Mhm.
that I wanted to go into radio, I'll tell you what it was. Back in the day where I grew up in Philadelphia, there were two guys that inspired me. One passed away recently,
Mm.
and I want to talk about him for a little bit
Okay.
because his name was Jerry Blavitt, rest in peace. But Jerry Blavitt was a split personality. He was a nice guy in front of people,
Mhm.
but he was a real piece of shit behind the scenes
Mm.
because he wanted you to do what he wanted you to do. Like I want to tell you what happened. Okay.
Mhm.
I was so excited to work for him at the time. And then he calls me and says, I want you to work at my restaurant.
Hmm.
Why? What are we doing? He goes, no, I want you to like wait tables at my restaurant. I went, no, I'm sorry. You got the wrong guy for that.
Right.
So he fired me from the
Wow.
radio station. Fired me from the radio station because I wouldn't work as a waiter in his restaurant. Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
The other guy that inspired me, and I got to work with his son, was a guy named High Lit. This guy was the master of DJs. I mean, Wolfman had the personality, but High Lit had the rap.
Hmm.
He was it. He was the it guy, the go-to guy. And it's funny because he and Jerry Blavitt ended up kind of at odds with each other later in life. Because, Jerry Blavitt was, Mafia connected. And there's no denying that. You can't get around it. You can't pretend it didn't happen if anybody's out there listening. You can't pretend it didn't happen. Jerry was connected. There's audio, there's video, there's films, there's pictures of him with all these people, okay?
Mhm.
All right. High Lit, on the other hand, kept his fucking nose clean and never got in trouble. Never. Okay? Because of that, he got blackballed
Oh, wow.
by Jerry Blavitt and his Mafia buddies.
Hmm.
Okay? And I'm just going to call spades spades, okay? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. So if anybody out there is listening, listen to that. Suck it up and listen good. All right? Because that's the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Like it or not. Radio is what I've always wanted to do. It's what I've always done. I did a television show too. It was a talk variety show.
Mhm.
I used to take the viewer out with me on the road, and we would do different restaurants, and we would talk to celebrities and bands and musicians and all kinds of people of interest, And it was a great show. It was called Stepping Out.
Right.
And that was, but the problem with that was trying to get people to sponsor you
Right.
because television is expensive,
Oh, yeah.
And if the money's not coming in and it's just going out, well, then, it's got to be coming from somewhere. So you end up sticking your hand in your pocket and paying for it yourself for a little while until money starts rolling in again. But you can't I did that for a year, and that was like
Mm.
a year of like skating on thin ice, worrying about where the next buck was going to come.
Mm.
So we got away from that one, thank God. But because TV's not all it's cracked up to be, I would much rather do radio. You got a lot more freedom. You have the power to say and do what you want, and be accountable for it, because we're accountable for everything we say here.
Right.
We always dot our I's and cross our T's, and we do things the right way, and that's really important. We do things the right way. I don't care what anybody says. If you're going to be in any sort of public medium, you gotta make sure that you're fair, that you're balanced, that you tell all sides of the story and not just the side that people want to hear. You gotta tell every point of view. If you don't, then you're not being fair to them or yourself.
Exactly. That's the truth.
But as far as like, Wolfman Jack was always like, he was always the king of the mountain
Mhm.
because he played the best music. And I wanted to play the best music. And he had that voice, man.
Mhm.
How, baby,
Yeah.
the Wolfman.
Yeah.
And growing up, I had a decent voice growing up, but when my voice stayed like this when I was 14, and I sounded like my father when
Mhm.
I was 14, I would answer the phone and go, "Hey, Bobby." It's not, "No, I'm sorry, this is Angelo. Hey, hold on a minute, I'll get him for you."
All right. They didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did that all the way till my father died.
Well,
All the way till my father passed away, I sounded like him on the phone. I still do.
yeah.
Anyway, so what are you up to? How did you we not talked about this before. You ended up you were a guest on the show, if I remember.
Yes.
See, happened, folks. She was a guest on the show, and she never went the fuck away. She just stayed.
I was like, hi, like this at first, Yeah, I'm here.
That's why I say that when I come on here every week, I say she's back. She hasn't gone away yet. She hasn't gotten the message. She's still here.
No, I was.
So what would I know that let's be honest about. I know you're a frustrated entertainer. I know that because you live on TikTok and you do duets with naked cowboys and guys that look like Jason Momoa and and you sing these duets and then you do these other things soliciting gifts from people.
Oh no, I do
Doing
not.
feather dances for people,
What? No.
She does, folks. It's OnlyFans / Amelia the Fan Dancer.
No, I do not do that. I don't solicit gifts for anyone. No, I started off as a guest, and I was, like, the shyest person ever, and then it's like I think your voice is what calmed me down. I think because I heard your voice and you had the,
My
like,
voice calmed you down. Oh, you got a lot of problems, kid.
because you had, like, a calming voice, and I thought, "Okay, I think I'll do alright," because I was more comfortable behind the camera taking the
Yeah.
pictures, and I thought, "You know what? Okay, I think he'll be okay on me the first visit, the first time," and you were, it was okay, and then after the second time, he asked me to come back, and then he asked me to come back, as an occasional, host, and I
Mhm.
thought, "I can do this, I think," and I think the more and more you, made me feel more comfortable in front of in front of the camera.
Even after I hollered at you and told her to get the fuck out of here,
Yeah, that one day he told me to get the fuck out of here. I'm like, "What? What? Wait, where'd that come from?"
right?
And then
No,
Anita
you
told him to behave.
but I know that. No, I'm serious now. I know
Mhm.
that you like to sing. How come you never like pursued that?
I basically, when I was growing up, it was either help your family with bills because your dad was working as a warehouse worker in Texas. It was middle class, so you had to basically graduate, grow up, basically, or go to college, or you marry in the military and you help your family. Basically, it was like that.
Why couldn't you entertain people and pay your family, help your family that way?
It was hard for me to get out anywhere, in the world.
I'm
So I thought
sure there were people in Odessa, Texas, that had bands.
they
I'm
were.
sure. Well, did you ever
Mhm.
audition for them? For
I never
anybody?
I never got the opportunity. It was hard for me to go anywhere because
How much did your weight play into that? Were you, like, self-conscious of your weight at the time?
no, I was skinny. I was 103 pounds at the time.
Really? Well, I know you've talked about it before on the show that you've had weight problems your whole life.
Well, no, I was 103 pounds, and then I got married, had kids, and then, of course,
Well,
being
then
married,
I gotta stop you there. Well, then why were you who was on the show before you were talking about? Well, it might have been Mary Murphy. Um,
it was a trainer that we had, and then we had another person that was a co-host of mine at one time. And we talked about weight, but a lot of this
right?
had to do with being married and stress, and then a lot of verbal abuse that people suffer while you're
Ah,
being married, and then they let you go through all this, and they're going to let you keep this weight on because guess what? Nobody can have you while you're this weight, and then you lose the weight. And I've lost a lot of weight. What it is
right,
extra skin that I have. Now I have to have it
right.
surgically removed,
Sure.
and people,
Well,
that's what it is now. So.
sure. Well, well, you sing. I'm sure you sing. I know that you lip sync to your videos, but
Right.
do you sing? Do you have a good voice? I've never heard you sing.
Well, people say I do, but it's been a long time since I'm saying karaoke.
I think I'm going to put you on the spot one day,
Mhm.
and I'm going to put a music track on and say, "Okay, Amelia, go." You think
Right,
you're
well, yeah.
laughing? You think I'm kidding?
Well, you probably will.
I know I will.
Well,
I
I did
know
that
I
one
will.
time I think I was talking to Diane Payne Golden, she's a country singer, but she's not well known, and,
Diane Payne Golden is
mhm,
purportedly a country singer. We have to clarify this.
mhm,
She is a woman who made her own CDs. She's not
mhm,
being distributed. She does not have a record contract. She made her own CD. Okay.
yes, mhm,
That said, she also writes her own songs.
yes, she does.
That said, we were supposed to have her on the show and she no showed us.
Mhm,
And that was the end of my relationship with Diane Payne Golden.
mhm.
Next case, please.
And so anyway, I was talking to her on the phone and she started singing. So I sang back and she says, "What? What? Wait a minute." So I just sang a little bit of a song and she was like, "Wow." So that's where it went.
Well, then maybe you need to sing.
And then I think who else did I sing in front of? It was one of your friends and it was Stephen Plim. I don't know if he meant it or if he was drunk at the time.
What happened with Stephen Plim? Say this again. You got me here. What happened?
Remember that one time I sang something, he said, he asked where you were, and I said, "I think you called the wrong person, you meant to call Angelo." And then he goes, "Do you sing, by the way?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, sing something for me." And I did.
Oh, I remember that.
Mhm.
Yes, you told me that.
Yeah.
I said you auditioned for Steven on the
Mhm.
phone.
Yeah, I did.
That funny?
Yeah. Yeah.
The least he could have did, the bastard, was give you like, set you
Mhm.
up with a gig somewhere
I know, right? But not with Johnny Carson.
and give me my finder's fee.
Right? And say, "Okay, my manager is
'Cause
named
Amelia's under
Angelo."
contract to this show here, and she can't go nowhere without, contractual permission.
Well, I have a manager. See, I have a manager. His name's Angelo.
Would his name be Mad Dog?
Yes.
Thank you. Anyway, so Stephen, he's a character, man. Stephen,
Yeah.
but I would get him on the show if he would actually stay here sober.
Mhm.
That's the key, sober. He said, I gotta believe him. He
Mhm.
said he stopped smoking,
Hmm.
but I know he hasn't stopped drinking.
Right.
I know that, and I'm worried about him drinking.
Yeah.
But he's a great guy, hell of a manager back in the day. He used to manage Tiny Tim back in the day.
But he has his
Long time ago.
daughter, right, taking care of him still? His daughter's still taking care of him?
Yeah. His daughter Callie, God bless that
Mhm.
kid.
Yeah.
She's got her hands full with him. He listened to this one. He's got his daughter Callie modeling.
Oh, wow.
Modeling. Yeah. I said, Stephen, are you sure you want to do that? And then we talked about that because I said,
Mhm.
she's a beautiful girl, but you can't be holding her hand the whole way.
No.
She's gonna you gotta hate to say it, but you're gonna have to like set her out with the wolves and see how she handles it.
Oh, at least she's not a little bitty kid like, like
Yeah.
they have
Well,
these days, and
it's let me see something here. Here we go.
and
We have what else have we got coming up here, Mill? Oh, we have a couple of shows, and I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. At the toward the end of the month, Amelia and I have booked a couple of shows that are very different for us.
very, very different.
On April the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. It's a 3-day, 3-part show. Now, it's a very serious show because it's about a woman who lost her life in Georgia, named Heather Turner. Now, Heather Turner was married to this guy. They say they believe the husband may have killed her. He says, no, I didn't do it. He says she fell and I heard her fall and I went to go help her. But the police don't believe him. And neither do some of the family and friends believe him. So tell everybody how this case came to us, Neil.
Well, I was watching some videos, on TikTok, how they say some videos may interest you. And
Yeah.
it came across my news feed, and it said that this lady, um, I can say killed here because killed herself with a handgun with the wrong hand. And she was
Yeah. Wasn't
right-handed.
she like a right-handed and they found the gun in her left hand or something
Yes,
like that?
but she did it on the back of her head. You don't kill yourself if you want to commit suicide on the back of your head. You either do it here or here
Well,
or here
no. I mean,
or
if
here.
somebody wants to kill themselves, I hate to do this, but if you're going to commit suicide, and by the way, we have the numbers for the suicide prevention hotline. Um, First of all, if you even think about it, call somebody first,
Yeah,
please.
please.
But if you're going to commit suicide, you're not going to shoot yourself in the back of the head. First of all, you
No,
can't reach.
no,
That's number one. Number two, it just doesn't sound right.
no.
I don't understand that. So what else what other inconsistencies are have come to light with this?
She was taking she took a purse in the bathroom, which is unlike her, with a gun, with the handgun. She's never done that. And the day before she passed away or was killed, uh, she went to the courthouse where she works and was telling everybody that she was leaving her husband because she was afraid
Right.
that he was going to kill her the
That's
day
what I
before
heard.
he died. Yes,
That's what I heard. Yeah, I don't know. It just sounds just so
sounds yeah, and there was so many different things too that he was verbally abusive as well, and he was very controlling, and he had to have things his way all the time.
the number, by the way, for the suicide lifeline is 988. It's a 24-hour, 7-day a week, 365 number. If anyone here is even considering, first of all, don't even consider it. Talk to
No,
somebody. Call us here at the show if you need to. Our number here is 856-449-4513. That's 856-449-4513. You can call us here at the show or call the National Suicide Hotline number 988. It's real simple. 3 digits. That's all you got to do. Push 3 numbers. 988. There's somebody there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365, all year long to help you, talk you down. Somebody just to talk to.
yes,
Sometimes, that's the biggest thing with suicide. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to.
absolutely. Or if you don't want to talk, if you want to write us, it's what's the buzz popcast at gmail.com.
Yeah, exactly. We have, we're available here, guys. We are very proactive. Amelia and I are very, very proactive with our show.
Yes,
And we've done this before with the runaways. We've done this with drug abuse, substance abuse hotlines. Johnny Whitaker, we had Johnny
yes.
Whitaker here, former actor, former child actor Johnny Whitaker came here and I thought that was Rita getting back to us. I
Yes.
heard my phone, but that's not Rita.
No,
But Johnny is a drug abuse, substance abuse counselor. I want to say substance abuse rather than drug abuse because he deals with all kinds of abuse issues, not just drugs, alcohol, depression, suicide, um, thoughts of harming other people. It's a real thing, folks. It really is.
it is. It
It's a
is.
real thing.
And also on the 29th, 30th of the month and May 1st, we're going to be doing another case of Natalie Jones, the Justice for Natalie Jones, as well. Another
Tell
case in
everybody
Georgia.
about that one, Amelia.
She was found in a pink car, her own pink car, in the middle of nowhere in the woods, away from somewhere where she would not have gone, about a mile or so from her ex boyfriend. And that is unusual as well.
Tell everybody what the biggest connection between. Wait till you hear this one, folks.
Mhm.
The biggest connection between both of these women.
They live in Georgia in this triangle because there's another one. It's called the Bermuda Triangle of the South. Is what they're calling this
They
case.
call it the Georgia Triangle.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
Yes.
They call it the Georgia Triangle. There's a in this county. There's this. We're going to talk about it, and I have a map of it too. By the way, we're going to
Hmm.
see it. There is a um. There's a triangular area in this county in Georgia that has come to be known as the Georgia Triangle because of the sheer number of women that go missing there.
Very much so.
The other thing that we found out about this area that people didn't expect us to find out is that it's very heavily involved in underground sex trafficking
Yes.
of women and underage minors, both male and female. So now, a couple of things have transpired. Information was given to the show and to me personally that there are police involved, judges involved, local politicians involved, doing everything in their power to keep this quiet. Well, and let me just let me put the kibosh on that real quick, okay? We're not going to keep shit quiet around here, fellas, okay?
Mm-mm.
Because we're going to expose this stuff, okay? And it's real simple.
Yes.
We're going to expose it, and we're going to spread the word. We have a very vast network here. Right now, 3,200 platforms around the world. That's radio, podcast, and video. Okay, 3,200 platforms, right around 3,200. Okay, worldwide. The other thing is we have about 11.4 million subscribers to our radio feed around the world. That's a lot of people that listen to us. And if you ever doubt that, please take a look at my emails sometime, because my emails burst at the seams. Okay. I get so many emails. I can't read them all. I have to hit delete, mass delete. I delete
Yes.
100 at a time,
Huh.
at a time. Okay. That I just don't have the
Right.
hours in the day to read all the emails. Okay. So,
Yeah, and also too, the thing is they're also we had an election here in Florida today, so I don't know if they're having the same election today over there in Georgia, or they're coming up for another election for city
right.
councils and sheriffs and government as
Right.
well too. So that's also involving in the cases as well.
Yeah, that's going to tie into this stuff,
Yes.
believe it or not. We're going to find out. I think the biggest thing I want to know, and I'm going to ask our guests when they join us, the biggest thing, that the most pressing issue for me is the area itself, the geography itself. I want to know what's there that's so special.
Why is it so magical?
Why? Yeah. Why is what is the lure of this area? That's what I want to know. The geography itself. Is there something magical? I hate that word, by the way,
Yeah.
magical.
Yeah,
Because
why is it so special?
when you're a kid,
Mhm.
everything's magical. When you
Yeah.
grow up, you go, oh fuck it, where's the magic?
Yeah.
Because there is no magic, and magic is an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon the pun, but it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
The other thing is, why so hush hush?
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to get one or two people to be quiet. All right.
Right.
You got a whole town that's not saying shit.
Exactly.
So, and I want to know how are they keeping these people quiet? And who's keeping these people quiet, and why
Yeah.
are they being quiet? What do they fear?
Yeah, exactly. And then when I saw this, I said, me Pitbull, I'm gonna run over there. I'm gonna open that rug or lift that rock and say, what's going on? I'm not gonna keep quiet.
Absolutely, of course. Of course. So tell everybody um some of the people that are coming on with, let's start with Justice for Heather. Who's coming on
We're
that
gonna have
show?
a lady by the name of Mary, and that's all I'm gonna say is just her name is Mary.
Yeah, we can she's an investigator. We can say that, but we can only say her name is Mary, and we're not allowed to say any more than that.
And somebody else is gonna be coming on with Mary that had a tie-in with Heather. That's all I'm gonna say is I'm not gonna say who it is as well because it's gonna be her first time talking about this as well. She was involved with the husband. That's all I'm gonna say about that. It's a special guest.
Yeah, and and I know a little bit about. I haven't said anything.
Mhm.
Um,
And with Natalie, we have a
yeah,
lady by the name of Jennifer coming on to speak on her behalf.
yeah. Jennifer. Last name we're not allowed to tell
Yeah,
you.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Again, another very similar situation. She's an investigator.
Mhm.
Um, I may even bring her on in disguise.
Yes.
Um, I told her if you're worried about your voice, I can change your
Yeah.
voice. We can do that here at the show. We have the capability to change your voice.
Mhm.
And so, don't worry. Don't be concerned about somebody recognizing your voice or your face, because we can always,
Mhm.
you know, place you in disguise. That's not a big deal.
Right. We could put the picture of Natalie and then just use her voice because that's how they've been doing it on TikTok as well. So
Well, we're not going to do that.
Mhm.
That's not what we do here.
Yeah. And also we might
'Cause
have a
we're
special
not TikTok.
yeah, we might have a special guest also joining us for Natalie Jones's case. It was very
Oh, we do have a special guest. I've confirmed that.
good. Good.
I'm
That's gonna
not going to tell you, but I will say this: it's a bombshell.
yes.
It's a bombshell witness,
Mm-hmm.
someone who witnessed the body,
Yes.
someone who handled the body. Okay, when I say bombshell, I'm not even kidding.
No,
A
you're not.
bombshell. Um, but I tell you what, we got a couple good ones coming.
We sure
We're going to
do.
be doing a lot more shows like that too, Million.
Oh yes, I think that this is passionate to me, and I want these ladies to have justice, or even the gentlemen that were killed like this. If we, if there were men that were killed like that,
Yeah.
they need justice as well.
Can I propose something? I want people to vote on this,
Hmm.
and I want you to put this up on our. I want you to put a voting
Okay,
poll
sure.
up on our Facebook. Here's what I
Mhm.
want you to say.
Okay.
Would you like would you like What's the Buzz to dedicate one show a week to missing persons?
To missing persons. Okay.
Yes or no? Because if we get more than 50% that say yes, the pit bull and the mad dog are on it.
Absolutely. I will do that.
Okay, because
Absolutely.
to be honest with you, I really enjoy bringing justice and closure to families.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think it's not an accident that these two cases came to us
Yeah.
from the same area,
Yes. Same
from the
state too.
same area,
Mm-hmm.
which is freaky enough to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I wouldn't be surprised, Amelia, if they actually knew each other.
Yeah. The counties where they're from is not too far from each other.
No,
Actually,
they're
no.
not. They're with very close proximity.
Yes.
So listen, folks, it's the pit bull and the mad dog. We will be here tomorrow night. I promise you, we will be here, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. And that means you too, Lord.
Yes.
So and I'm very grateful that we have this show, because it gives us the opportunity, to get right, not only with God, but it gives us a chance to get right with each other and people out there that count on us and listen to us, and people like Leon, Leon is one of our. If you folks don't know who Leon is, go back and listen to our shows. You'll hear me talking about Leon all the time.
Yes.
Leon Barfield. He's one of the steadfast members of our the Mad Dog Brigade, our army here,
Mm-hmm.
Amelia's army. But listen, on behalf of Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, on behalf of myself, Angelo, the Mad Dog DeCipio, we'll see you tomorrow night, and God bless everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.